The simulator genre has become super popular in video games, both in flat screen and in VR, both serious and a bit more comical. So we're going to take a look at some of the best simulation games that you can get for VR headsets right now. We're going to start with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And yes, we do know we already covered this one in our best VR flight simulator video, which you can see right up here. But honestly, it is one of the best simulations you can get in VR right now. It is a serious depiction of flying aircraft of a wide variety of different types using your VR headset. You can get right into the cockpit and see all the different details, and they're all accurately recreating the real-world aircraft. You can fly over realistic cityscapes based on the real world and indulge yourself in all manner of different simulatory activities of flying aircraft. If you're looking for a realistic simulation of a real-world activity in VR, Microsoft Flight Simulator is simply top of the pile. A slightly more mundane activity, Farming Simulator is a series that exploded in popularity many years ago now, maybe 12, 13 years ago, and while it's not at the peak of its popularity, it still maintains a keen audience. Farming Simulator 22 brought VR to the series for the first time by adding PC VR support through Steam VR. But now in 2025, we have a new version built specifically for standalone VR on MetaQuest. Farming Simulator VR is available in the Meta Horizon store right now and adapts everything you know and love about this series to VR. For the first time, it brings a completely first-person take on the series and adapts it into VR. It is exclusively built for that VR experience. Obviously, running on standalone hardware like the MetaQuest, visually it's not quite up to what you would get on a high-end PC, but that doesn't matter so much when the accurate depiction of farming is simulated so well in VR. Next up, we have House Flipper VR, and this is a game in which you will buy, renovate, and resell homes. It's a simple enough formula and has proven very popular, so much so that there is a second game also available. House Flipper VR was based on, again, a flat screen game, House Flipper, but it comes to VR with such an added level of immersion that honestly, there's no comparison. Once you've played it in VR, you won't want to go back to flat screen. Much like Microsoft Flight Simulator and Farming Simulator VR, House Flipper VR takes everything that you would expect from the traditional flat screen game and adds such a significant layer of immersion to it that you're not going to want to go back to playing on a flat screen after you experience House Flipper VR. And we have another game that started as a flat screen game that's come into VR, and specifically has a unique version built for VR. Powerwash Simulator VR. Now this game was originally designed by Brighton UK-based Future Lab, and it was brought to VR by another UK-based studio, one that has significant experience in VR, Endreams. And what we have here is not necessarily an adaptation, but a new version built entirely from the ground up to support VR. It proved very popular, but sadly, it doesn't seem it was popular enough, as Future Lab have said that they're no longer going to support VR with Powerwash Simulator and the upcoming sequel, Powerwash Simulator 2. They were quite frank when they made this announcement about the reasons why. There was no cloak and daggers going on here. They simply said it was costing more to develop the VR version of Powerwash Simulator than the money that it was bringing in. So if you enjoy these kind of games, you've really got to talk with your wallet. Go out and buy Powerwash Simulator VR and maybe we will get support in the sequel one day. Now we're going to go back in time a little bit with a few older VR titles, but still good ones. Cooking Simulator VR is exactly what you would expect. It is a game in which you are going to be cooking up different recipes. You'll use lots of different techniques in order to get your dishes prepared, and it works in such a fashion that there are orders coming in which you then have to complete. But don't go thinking this is like Overcooked. It's not an arcadey type game. It is a simulation. You'll need to recreate all of the special recipes and the techniques for cooking using the right ingredients to fulfill those dishes. It's a game in which you will need to pay attention just as much as any of the other simulation games we've included here. Don't go thinking it's a flippant arcade-style experience just because there are many other cooking-style games in VR that are like that. Cooking Simulator VR is a true simulation of cooking. Surgeon Simulator VR Meet the Medic was super early in VR. It was a game that was created by Bossa Studios, again here in the UK, and sadly Bossa seemed to have stepped away from VR quite significantly after supporting it so well early on. Surgeon Simulator VR Meet the Medic is a slapstick approach to doing a simulation game. It's a game in which you have to use different kinds of implements, different kinds of surgical tools to conduct surgery in often extreme conditions. You might be doing things like conducting surgery on aliens in space in zero gravity, and probably making quite a mess of it. Surgeon Simulator was one of the earliest of the modern trending simulation-style games, and arguably it kicked off the whole craze of simulation games, comedic simulation games, that is. And here in VR, it really comes into its own. Bossa worked really hard to make every element of Surgeon Simulator work really well in VR, and they accomplished it. And finally, we're going to wrap up with Job Simulator. You all knew this one was coming. Job Simulator was created by Alchemy Labs really early on in VR, and still to this day, it is a wonderful experience for both people who are familiar with VR and newcomers. While it's called Simulator, again, like Surgeon Simulator, it is a comedic take. You're going to be working at the checkout with robots coming in, trying to make purchases that don't really understand how humans work, and can interact with them in a variety of different ways, very little of which is actually doing your job. That was just one example of the type of jobs that you'll be conducting here. There is a wide variety of environments which you'll be based in, and conducting these jobs with the robot overlords that seemingly have taken over the planet.
You've been doing a really good job lately. I think it's about time you got a promotion.
Hooray! It's 5 o'clock! Woohoo! It's time to go home!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to come in on Saturday.
A sequel, Vacation Simulator, was also made, but honestly, as good as it is, it did not land as well as Job Simulator. And Job Simulator still frequently makes its way into the top-selling charts across most VR formats. So those were our picks for the best simulator games, both serious and comedic, available in VR right now. Did we miss your favourite? Let us know in the comments down below.